Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. We are back with another banger and a banger and banger. Lots of cool news, trailers, and we watched some cool stuff. We also have some love in the air for all the lovers out there. We have our Valentine's Day double feature. Let's start the show. I'm Francisco, and I'm here with my buddy. They got his Cupid card rejected. No love, Andres. What's up, man?
Dude, you're taking me back to like the second grade, man. That hurts. Ow.
No little heart arrows for you, sucker.
I choose you.
Oh, my goodness. I remember the first time, my first year in the United States was my second grade year. And I think one of my first days was Valentine's Day because I remember getting a bunch of cards and all I wanted was the candy. I didn't even know what that was about because it was my first day in school and it was like, what's Valentine's Day? I'm pretty sure they don't do Valentine's Day in Mexico. And so anyways, that was my first day in school in the USA.
Valentine's. Well, congratulations on your second grade anniversary, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Appreciation.
The best candy I got was the Fun Dip. That was the best candy I got.
Is that the
like
one
in
with
the card?
It's like a hard candy and you kind of lick it and you dip it into like the powder.
Yeah.
And it's like different flavored powders. Like who came up with that one?
Yeah.
Dude,
it's like different sugars. One's more sour than the other.
One's purple sugar. You got blue sugar. You got your red sugar.
I'm sure one of them could clean pans. It's good for cleaning grease off pans and shit.
Dude, the amount of things that they gave us as kids that does no longer exist for like safety reasons now is pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like they had
my sister still smuggles some of that Mexican candy over because she can't get enough of that shit.
I remember we used to get some of that. And then at some point, someone like, let's test this candy from Mexico. And it was full of lead. And it was the exact shit we've been eating for like
the best
years. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, the best.
How do you put lead, just accidentally drop some lead into like a vat of like candies, like some Joker candy? Like, I don't understand. How do you fuck that up? Come on,
Put a smile on your face. Put the smile on that face.
Man,
that's funny.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah,
all
Valentine's
right.
Day is upon us. Get ready.
Yeah,
all right,
Valentine's Day. Enough of the chit chat.
News and tidbits. All right, man. What you got?
Yeah. All right. This is a little. I was surprised by this, but all right, man. Disney announced some sequels coming up that they're working on. Frozen 3. Toy Story 5, in case you don't have another Toy Story. Zootopia 2 announced.
Man, I mean, those are all like, you know what sucks is Pixar. I swear to God, Pixar, like a couple of years ago, said we're done doing sequels.
Yeah.
At least for like a long time.
Yeah.
I guess they're not done doing sequels. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think Toy Story is the only Pixar one, right? The rest are straight up Disney titles.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like,
but 5 Toy Stories. Do we need more?
I mean, they really didn't even need a 4th, but the 4th was awesome, and I loved how it was.
Dude, that was a story. Yeah, like I totally agree with you. The 3rd was like perfect ending, and then I was kind of like being a little, curmudgeon about the 4th one. I'm like, well, you don't need a 4th one. Is it gonna fuck it up? But it was like, oh my God, it's amazing looking. It's like the artistry is like, oh my God. And then the story was cool and whatever.
Yeah. It was good. Like they found a way to like naturally
tell more stories.
Yeah. But now, I mean, if you spoilers in the 4th Toy Story, there's like some separations and it was like some growing and it was like, wow. I thought that was a perfect ending. I'm like, dude, go live. I mean, It was sad, but I mean, but they kind of undo that with the fifth. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how
What
I
about
feel
the other
about
ones?
this. All right.
Have you watched any of the Frozen movies?
No, I tried. No, wait. We might have made it through the first Frozen film because that thing was like the phenomenon juggernaut.
Yeah.
And I remember at some point, I couldn't tell you a single thing about it because I just remember the whole time we were like, should we turn this off? This is fucking terrible. Like that film is one of the worst Disney films I've seen in like forever. It didn't look good in certain areas, but it made $1 billion because of the songs. I'm like, wow. Like they look like there's some unfinished scenes in that movie that get to not look like well designed. I was like, what are they doing? And they're like, wait, made $1 billion? Like, wait, that one?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Made no sense to me because that shit I did not enjoy. I thought it was just a bad movie, period. Like the character, nothing made any sense. I was just like, this is the laziest fucking storytelling. But they did the songs and little girls are wearing the dresses. They did something and then they get the sequel.
I know.
Yeah,
I know, man.
You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, that's a no-brainer because I've heard rumors that Disney, they like money at Disney. So they're like, hey, should we turn the printing machine on? Let me think about that for a second.
We've been losing some money. Can we just let's stop bullshitting. Can we just get into the no?
Is that what
that's from the second movie? That's from the second movie.
Taking the wrong guy, dude. I mean, it's Disney. Disney loves money, and that's like the money fountain. They're like, turn it up. And like, all right, here comes the money hose. And so yeah,
they're
that's
like
a no-brainer.
They're like a crackhead. I'm kind of itchy. Time to turn on the scratch. Let's get some of this scratch going.
Basically, right? And then Zootopia. And Zootopia is one of my modern favorite animated films, period. Like, I think that movie is so good. Like, we probably watch it like at least once or twice a year because it's so well done. It's like not really that for kiddies. And it's gorgeous. The ideas are there. Like, it's good. It's legit funny. I mean, I love the designs and ideas. And I was waiting, like, are they ever going to make a sequel? This seems like a very natural for a sequel. And they never did, but they had some kind of a TV show or something. I was like, all right, I'll just kind of roll with that. And I guess they're not making a sequel, but they just announced it. You know what? I'm all for it. I'm more excited for that than anything else that they announced because I'm like, I think they can go in a lot of different directions. And it's a natural story. Like, there's a world they can tell stories in. And I'm like, cool, let's do it. I'm excited.
I also like Zootopia. Yeah, Zootopia 2 should be pretty cool.
So I'm excited.
The Shakira song.
The fuck, the whole movie's great.
Yeah. The jokes were funny. They landed. And the animal designs were cool. And all the voice acting was cool too. So I love when the bunny first gets there. Officer, what's her name? Officer Bunny?
Judy Hopps, I think.
Yeah. And when she first gets into town, and there's like different, basically zones. Scales of the city. Yeah. Oh man, it was really well thought out.
And the lighting is gorgeous. There's some shots where they switch like exposures, walking from like bright to dark, which they don't do in animated film. It's a really difficult thing to do, and they totally nailed like the lighting and the look. Like they use some new technology of like how to get the lighting like physically accurate. And I think that film for the first time for Disney, I was like, this film is gorgeous. Like they've easily caught up to like Pixar in a lot of areas, which of course they're all owned by the same company, so they share technologies. But man, I want to go watch Utopia right now.
Yeah. Speaking of scratch,
yes.
Speaking of like trying to get some cheddar, some money, Disney, the new CEO or I guess is the returning CEO, Iger, open to selling off Hulu.
Yeah, that's it's not
that's
really
some
news
Skrilla
until it happens. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that'll happen. They kind of were like they're co-owners of Hulu.
Yeah.
And it also helps them because they own Fox now and they're putting all the Fox shows on Hulu. So it kind of works to their favor. I don't think it'll ever happen because I think that's their outlet for putting more R-rated content and more adult content. They can't put that shit on Disney Plus. So where are they going to put it? You know what I mean? So they kind of need that second thing. And I think that whole Hulu, ESPN, Disney thing, I think that really is an attractive bundle that people like watch and buy. So I was like, all right. I doubt it's going to happen, but Whoever buys it, I don't know. I don't know who would buy it because I don't know. It's a cool platform with a lot of cool shows. What do you think?
Yeah. Speaking to the content on Disney Plus, I think they have some R stuff on there already.
Are they starting to roll it in?
Yeah. I don't know if you're ever gonna get Aliens on Disney Plus or anything like that, but
you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like,
but I agree with you. It's like it's like synergy for them. I don't know why they would mess with it because
and they're putting Andor. They put for some Andor episodes on Hulu to kind of like pump up the Disney Plus. Oh, I think that's a cool cross promotion. Like you said, synergy, man. I don't know.
They already have it in place. I don't know why you would fuck it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
unless they want more Skrilla.
They always want that. It's like how thin do you need things to be before you start like how much is enough? You know what I mean? Like they need their platforms to distribute their shit. But at what cost? I don't know. It's all curiosity. None of that shit makes sense to me. Hulu just canceled the show called Reboot, which was like one of their better shows that I thought was hilarious. So I'm like, that one kind of hurt. And I'm like, okay, Hulu, all these companies are canceling a lot of shit right now. I think they're doing the post-pandemic readjustment, belt tightening in Hulu.
Yeah.
Everyone's canceling shit. HBO is canceling shit. I don't know. The dust is getting kicked up right now, and I hope it settles soon because we need our shows back.
Yeah, and also they also have the FX and the Searchlight. They how they took the 20th Century Fox and now the 20th Century Studios
their outlet. This is their outlet. Yeah. Like that's just not gonna be. They're not gonna put no Searchlight, those artsy films on Disney Plus. That ain't happening.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. Okay, man. Moving on.
What we watched. Yeah, what did we watch?
All right, man. I got to watch some shows that have been on for a couple weeks, and that I've been wanting to start. I finally did it. All right. First up, I got 1923. It's the Yellowstone spinoff, and it's the second spinoff. The first one was 1893. I think that was the name of it, with Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, which was pretty good. And then this one stars Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford. And it follows yeah, man. I'm like 4 episodes in, and
how was it?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Hour-long episodes?
Yeah. 45, 52 minutes, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I mean, they look gorgeous, like they don't have to worry about the cinematography when you're shooting up there, I guess. Just like point the camera that way. I'm like, all right, boom. Like you see some crazy landscapes, But the story's developing, and it's the first episode was kind of like, okay, where are we go? You got to put your feet on the ground and see where you stand. But it's finally developing, and it's pretty good right now. They got some antagonists going on, and some people starting some shit, and the old people, Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford, they're not gonna put up with that shit. So pretty good.
How's Harrison Ford doing in the show? Is it weird seeing him on TV?
It's funny seeing him on a horse. He's like, move the cattle that way. You're like, oh shit. Because he has the old man voice now, Instead of saying, get off my lawn, he says, steer the cattle that way.
And Helen Mirren's always awesome.
Yeah, she's great. She's got an accent in this. I think she plays an immigrant, and she has a funny accent, like like an Irish kind of overseas accent.
Yeah.
But it was great. It looked good.
How many episodes is it?
I want to say it's gonna be 10, but right now I'm only on episode 4.
Okay,
so and I don't know if it's still airing. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still airing, so we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it, man. That guy Sheridan don't miss either, man. Because I liked all his stuff. I liked Yellowstone. I've been wanting to start. He does have his own empire.
The James Renner, the Jeremy Renner show. He's got, I think, 1 or 2 other shows like
The Tulsa King.
Yeah.
With Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. Like, dude, he started as an actor on Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He was the sheriff of
Yeah.
the town.
And he looked like a douche.
Yeah, because that was the character. And then he kind of just went out and did his own thing. I'm like, now he's got an empire that he's created, like writing, producing, and creating all this. I'm like, dude, good on you. And all of his films are really good. So I'm like, dude, I think he speaks our language, which is not always a happy language, but it's a good, like, keeps you in there.
I mean, he wrote Sicario too, you know, like, let's not forget about his in Wind River. And
like, his shit is not like,
it's not happy.
Like,
yeah.
But yeah, he gets into it.
It's high quality.
So,
You know, one little tidbit I did forget to put on the document earlier was that I guess there's some production issues going on with the Yellowstone, the mothership show, because Mr. Can't forget. What's the main actor? Kevin Costner. Yeah. Mr. Kevin Costner. He doesn't want to work that many days anymore. He wants to like have the shoot done in like 45 days or whatever. They're negotiating some things. And I read that they might just end the show and move some of the stars into some other spinoffs and keep it going on. So it won't be the official Yellowstone, and they'll basically write this one to an end and then just move on with the spinoffs.
It'll be like Yellowstone
because he's working on his own
street.
Yeah, I guess he's directing or starring in his own show or movie, and so he's committed to that.
Yeah, there's some big show he was supposed to be doing for like it's a big thing that he's supposed to be doing. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, so that's where the negotiations are stalling at. So it might end. Yellowstone might end this year,
or someone might just die off early.
Yeah. Or they might put all the cast into another show. Like, we're going to go over here now.
They're going to do like a Roseanne where they remove the main character and don't call it Roseanne anymore. They call it like the Connors.
The Connors.
Maybe they'll call this one like the Yellowstones.
Yeah.
Yellowstone. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm glad you're digging that one. All right, what else we got?
Yeah. All right. And this one, it kind of came out of nowhere. It's also starring Harrison Ford. This guy's busy at his age. Yeah. It's called Shrinking, starring Jason Segel, Harrison Ford, Krista Miller, and Jessica Williams. I think I've never seen her before, but she's a scene stealer in the show. And man, this show is so funny. The premise is like, it's this guy, Jason Segel, and it's not a spoiler because it's the first episode, or like he lost his wife and he's dealing with that as a therapist, and he has his coworkers.
Jason Segel is the therapist.
Yeah, he's a therapist, and he lost his wife.
Okay,
and his coworkers are Harrison Ford and Jessica Miller, and he has a teenage daughter that he's basically not equipped to parent because he's dealing with He doesn't have his shit together, basically. Dealing with the loss. And it's funny, man. It's like cute, funny, sad, you know, like it pulls out the heartstrings, but it has some funny stuff and, you know, quirky outlook at how to look at things, you know. It's not funny like, haha. It's funny, like interesting how they pull things off.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're doing a good job. The writing has been pretty well. I mean, I've enjoyed. I've laughed out loud a couple times, and I've gotten like misty eyed a couple times too because of the situation with everything. And he's dealing with his own patients. You know, like this guy that has PTSD from being in Afghanistan.
Damn.
And yeah, some real life stuff. And you know who steals the show, the scenes is I can't remember his name, but maybe you'll know his name. He's from Married with Children. Remember that show?
Of course.
He's the neighbor, Mr. Darcy.
Oh yeah. Oh wait a minute. Is he the first husband or the second husband?
The second husband.
Ted something or other. Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, dude, that dude was in. I think he was the bad guy in the first Revenge of the Nerds films, like in the 1980s.
Oh,
second, like, he was like a jock.
Yeah.
He was funny on that show. Man, I forgot his name.
Well, he's hilarious in this show, bro.
Yeah,
he's hilarious. Like he has like these just one-liners, you know. He's in the thing for like 3 seconds, but he says one-liners. You're like, good one, buddy, and then he's gone, just
All
like
right.
that.
That's cool.
But Shrinking, man, I can't recommend it enough.
It's on Apple, right?
Yeah, it's on Apple. It's a weekly release. So right now they only have 4 episodes up. So if you guys want to catch up, tune in, man. Shrinking on Apple.
Are they 30 minutes or 60 minutes?
30 minutes, 35,
so
32. Yeah, cool. Yeah. And light, it could be heavy, but it gets light too overall. And Jason Segel's funny. He's killing it.
Dude,
yeah, Apple don't miss.
I want to see the Jason Segel, Harrison Ford chemistry. I'm like, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's funny.
Man, Harrison Ford, and he's got those 2 shows going concurrently, and Indies coming out in like, what, 3 months, something like that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Guy,
I wonder, is he trying to buy a yacht? He's trying to buy a yacht, or what's going on?
Trying to buy Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Kid Kevin Costner.
Anyways, that's good stuff. All right, moving on. Okay, as you guys know, The Last of Us aired a early episode this week. Came out on Friday, and I have seen it, but my good friend Andres has not.
It came out last night. I did not get a chance to watch it. Yeah, no, man. We're like,
yeah. So we're gonna push it to
the 5th. Yeah, it's gonna have to like. Oh yeah, I'm excited. They pushed it to put it on a Friday night because Sunday is a Super Bowl, and that was a smart move. Like these other people like won't learn their lessons. I guess the Golden Globe learns their lessons, and that shit was like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or some random shit.
Yeah,
because they didn't want to go up against NFL. I'm like, okay, But man, yeah, I'm super excited to finish the second part of this 2-parter, which is like, it's jamming, jamming right along. I'm digging it.
It's cooking.
Yeah, but all right, here's something. I watched something else. This is what I want to talk about real quick.
All right.
Because I started to watch The Last of Us, which is based on the video game. I went back and I wanted to watch the other property that the same company, Naughty Dog, who released on PlayStation, they did Uncharted, the Uncharted film last year. So I watched that. I totally forgot to mention that for a second here. And I wanted to kind of like just compare and contrast the 2 shows. And like, all right, so did you watch Uncharted at all? I don't even remember.
No, I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, so I watched Uncharted. And I got to say, it's okay. It was fine. The first half, it's really weird because I played the games. I love the games, and like the characters in the games don't really match up to like the characters in the movie. Like the main character is too young from the guy in the movie. Like they're too and it's Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland. And Tom Holland's awesome, but he's a little too young to be playing this guy. And Mark Wahlberg is too young also to be playing who he's playing from the video game. And it's an awkward pairing in a way because the game stars one character. But because I think Mark Wahlberg was originally attached to star in the film, and they've tried to make it for like 5 or 10 years, he kind of aged out of the role. So they just bumped him up to the older character, but he wasn't quite old enough to play the older character. And then he's in like almost half the film, even though the video game, he's just colorful in the background, shows up every now and then. But he's like damn near 50% of the screen time is Mark Wahlberg, which is kind of like, that's not really the point of the game.
Yeah.
Following the main character. But overall, it was still pretty enjoyable. If you like silly, adventure-y type stuff, like, and it also has like Antonio Banderas, he was cool watching him play kind of like the bad guy. Hello, I'm here to fuck shit up kind of guy. I was like, all right, I like this guy. And
and he really hams up the accent. He knows how to ham the accent.
Yeah. He's just there getting his paycheck and having a good time. And it's a pretty good looking film. Like they spent some money on it. Like they didn't cheap out on any part of it. Versus like the Spider-Man film, where like the whole film, it felt like it took place in like 3 rooms. This is like all over the world and gorgeous locations and running around crazy alleyways in different cities around the world. Like this is pretty fun. It's a good looking film. It's not like it's over the top like a video game, especially the last like third of the film. It's so ridiculous. But it's like, you know what? They own it. It's like they just go for it. I'm like, I'm in. I don't care. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. And it's not like just turn your brain off and try to enjoy it. And they do like the thing in the video game where they have to like solve puzzles to get to this next room and unlock this thing and how to use this for the map and what's the map really say, blah, 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 blah. So it was fun that way. And it's on Netflix right now. So if you want something that's adjacent video game to Last of Us, check out Uncharted. It's good enough. It's fine. It's good enough. Don't think you're gonna
good enough.
Yeah, and it's got some really awkward after credit scenes. You're like, what was that? But it was kind of weird. Like if you want to do after credit scene, make it cool. Don't do it awkward and just tack it on because you have to do it after the credit scene. You know what I mean? Like just make it meaningful. Like there's no meaning. There's anyways. But yeah, you might dig Uncharted, man. It's plenty good enough. That's all I have to say. It's the middle of the list. Like it's fine.
I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of like those Tomb Raider films, and it gives me those Tomb Raider-y vibes. And
That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll see, man. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. Moving on.
Good.
Valentine's Day's here, and the good fellows at HBO Max released a special episode for Harley Quinn. It's called Harley Quinn's Problematic Valentine's Day Special. And I watched it. It's 44 minutes.
How problematic was it?
Extremely problematic. Like I can't sit here and repeat half the shit they did. But I wish you had watched the whole thing. And like, don't get me wrong, I haven't seen the entire series, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this for Valentine's Day. We'll have something to talk about. And I skipped through the first 2 seasons, I guess, because I've only watched the first 3 or 4 episodes of the first season.
I'm almost done watching the first season.
Yeah, so
but I watched the first 10 minutes of this episode. I was like, all right, I gotta be with you. Gotta support my boy in his love affair with Valentine's Day, his romantic shows. So we put this on, and then it got pulled away like 10 minutes in, and that was it. But it was right along the lines, man. That shit was really. I mean, it's Harley Quinn all the way, but I'm sure they turned it up to like 11 in this one if they're gonna call it.
There was some crazy stuff.
The title.
Yeah. I was some stuff I was surprised that they did and stuff. But if you guys are into raunchy humor and the fact that it's a cartoon doesn't bother you guys, I recommend it 100%. They had some funny jokes. They had a funny bit that it was kind of like a Easter egg or tribute to a classic romantic comedy movie. So that was kind of cool. I don't want to spoil it so you guys can like see if you guys catch it. It was really well, man. It was really well made. I laughed a lot. And it was 44 minutes. It flew by. And I gotta say that Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn doing their thing together like that, it was pretty hilarious. And they mesh well.
Dude, those two together are hilarious.
And Bane, there's a ton of characters in this episode. But Bane was one of those characters, and his story was hilarious. It kind of like,
he's
top notch.
He's probably like my favorite supporting character besides her little crew of folks. Whenever Bane shows up at Legion of Doom.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
I think I told you he has a coffee cup and it says, "Coffee is my reckoning," and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I Googled that shit and I found a couple places to buy that mug. And I was like, oh shit, do I want to walk around the house with the mug that says "Coffee is my reckoning"? I'm like, oh, shit.
Pull the trigger, bro.
Probably will. But man, that shit every time just cracks me up. He's just walking around with a little coffee mug talking to everybody. So how's it going?
Don't show up to the Zoom one day and I will pull up and I'm drinking the coffee with my reckoning and you're like, motherfucker, beat me to it. Yeah, I'm gonna Google it up.
It's pretty cool. That shit was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, he was hilarious and he definitely, man, there was a big finale. We'll put it at that.
All right.
I recommend it, guys. We'll go ahead and watch Harley Quinn's Problematic Valentine's Day Special on HBO Max.
Get into
it. Just go with it. Just go with the flow. All right, moving on. You got the Neal Brennon Blocks comedy special on Netflix.
Yeah. So this has been out for a few months, I think. And for
Mhm.
some reason, I saw like a part of it like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. So I made it a point. I got to watch this at some point, and finally
Mhm.
watched it. And do you know who Neal Brennan is?
Yeah, yeah, I'm familiar.
I didn't really know much about him. I had to look him up at like halfway through the thing. I'm like, wait a minute. So
Oh
he
yeah,
has
you didn't
a
know?
one. No, he has a 1 hour special. It's funny.
Yeah,
It's really he's a good writer performer.
yeah, yeah,
It ends a little hard. It's like it's not a happy end of the. It's like
yeah.
kind of a little downer end, but
Mhm.
but man, it's hilarious. Like it's so good. And just looking at his face, he makes little faces, and I start laughing. I'm like, oh man, you know where he's going with this. But man, it's so funny. But then I had to look him up. This dude is the co-creator of the Chappelle Show. I was like, what the
Yeah,
shit? And it was
yeah,
like 20 years ago. And like, this dude looks pretty young. Like, he must have been a young pup with him and Dave
yeah,
Chappelle were young pups creating the show
yeah,
together, which was massive. And
yeah.
he's done a bunch of other stuff. He's like written, directed, and
Mhm.
produced tons of other stuff. I'm like, this guy, like, holy shit. And like, he was so smooth on stage. You're like, it all kind of clicks. So this is on Netflix, and he just goes over a whole variety of topics, and each one's hilarious. And it's there's some serious parts, but it's worth watching. I laugh my ass off. Definitely recommend Neal Brennan Blocks. I got to watch his other special apparently on Netflix called like Three Mics. I'm like, shit.
Oh yeah,
And he's a good writer, man. So
yeah.
definitely check that out, folks. Like stand up, Neal Brennan Blocks.
Yeah.
What else have you seen him in?
He's been on podcasts, and he, like, I remember I saw one with him on the Joe Rogan Experience, maybe like 3 years ago, and he kind
Oh
of
wow.
breaks down the whole Dave Chappelle show experience from his point of view, where
Oh
like Dave
wow.
disappears and how, well, what about me? Kind of like, I
Yeah.
kind of, we did this together kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's really cool and interesting, to see from the other point of view, from other perspective. So
I don't know if they're
you
still
can go
friends.
back and look at.
He doesn't mention Chappelle by name in the show, but he makes it very clear like someone he's talking about for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. I hope they're still buddies, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Cool. I love stand up,
Yeah.
so I might be checking
Yeah.
that out pretty soon.
It's good. It's good. It's good. All right.
All right.
What we got
Moving
next?
on. Trailers.
Trailers. All right.
All right.
Your favorite part. Your favorite part.
Yeah. My
What do
favorite
we got
part.
first?
Did you watch them?
Yeah. I watched them all.
Good job.
I know there'd be more at this point because the Super Bowl is tomorrow for those
Yeah.
listening. And that's traditionally they drop a ton.
Yeah.
And they used to not drop until like the day after because they want to do the exclusive thing on the game. They're paying their $18 trillion for 30 seconds. And now they're like, fuck it. It's Friday. Here's like 3 minutes of a trailer. I'm like, Jesus, calm down. But so they released one, at least for the Super Bowl early. But go ahead, what we got first?
First, we got this. I guess it's a CG movie, partly CG.
It's like a hybrid.
It's called Strays.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, these dogs get together and they talk. They're like, who's talking? Like the dogs are talking, and they have it's just it looks like a raunchy kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like a TED. Someone was comparing it to TED, and it might have been written by someone from TED. I don't recall.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very adult take on like stray dogs living in the world when they're trying to get back home.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Like
it was pretty funny.
The main character is voiced by Will Ferrell. And I was like, oh shit, that's cool. He had a whole bunch of voices. I'm like, this looks fucking cool. I think it looks funny.
Yeah, it looks funny to me. At first, I was like, Strays. I'm not going to watch Strays. I thought it was going to be about alley cats or something. I'm like, I don't care about no cats. But yeah, man. So I'm glad you liked that. When I put it on here, I was like, oh, man, this is fucking funny. And like, if you guys watch the trailer, it ends with a funny scene where all the dogs are like, what would you call it? Remodeling lawn fixtures. I don't know.
Mounting lawn fixtures.
They're teaching each other how to do it. I don't know. It's weird, but funny. So Strays. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I can make it out to the movies to check that out. Okay, moving on. All right, man. This is kind of a big one. It's called Air.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
That's it, Air.
Dude,
But
they
man,
have been talking about this for a while. And go
yeah,
ahead, and I have a backstory slightly, but go
yeah.
ahead.
All right. I'm not like a sneakerhead. I mean, we both know a sneakerhead. Shout out to Joe. What up, Joe?
Joe.
Um,
Joe
he
loves his
actually,
sneakers.
yeah, he actually sent me the trailer too. So
Oh,
funny.
cool.
But
Yeah.
but I do know a little bit about the original Jordan, and I watched the
Yeah.
documentary and blah blah blah
Yeah.
other stuff. So I'm familiar with part of the story. And man, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to see like the performances and trying to connect the dots, between the documentary and the film and
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
reports and this and that. So, and there's only one GOAT. We all know who it is, Jordan. So yeah, I'm excited.
What's cool is I believe Jordan's not actually in the film. Like the
Yeah,
actual character, he's not in the film. It's like around him. Like he's like in the
yeah,
background doing his thing. And
yeah,
it's all the deals being made and how to
yeah,
change Nike. And Nike is taking a big chance. And what's really cool is the show on HBO called Winning Time.
yeah,
There is like maybe a 5 or 10 minute
yeah,
segment that they kind of get into. It's like a side story. And I was like, this is
yeah,
awesome. Like the fact that they included it was
yeah,
fantastic. That show is so good.
yeah,
Winning Time HBO. Check it out, folks. Not for the kids though. But man, it showed like the dude from Nike trying to get Magic Johnson to be the first guy to get his own shoe, and he
yeah.
ended up passing with Nike, and he worked with, I think, was it Reebok maybe or Converse? I don't remember
Converse,
what the deal
yeah,
was.
Converse,
And then they gave like the basic breakdown of like, had this person signed with Nike
yeah,
after like his current value would be something like $500 million or something like
yeah,
insane. It was like in
yeah,
today's dollars, it would have been
yeah,
worth this had they had done it. But
yeah,
they went with Jordan instead, and this is the
yeah,
story of them going with Jordan. And
yeah.
it's starring Matt Damon. Ben Affleck is in it. He directed.
Directed
The
it,
dude
yeah,
is a good director. So
yeah,
this is like a
yeah,
really cool. I'm excited, and it's a bit of a period piece. I think he does good period pieces. He did
yeah.
oh man, the hostage negotiation film. I can't believe I just blanked on the name.
The which one?
But the Ben
Argo.
Affleck film, Argo, yes. And that film was fantastic. Like
Yeah.
competent
The
directing.
Town.
Like,
Come on, The Town, bro. You're
yeah,
gonna
but
not gonna say
no, The Town
he's
was,
a good director, not mention The Town.
yes, but Argo was a period piece. Nike, this film was a period piece. So I'm just saying he's
The
good.
Town. Period. There you go.
The Town's a shit. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Put down your gun. Fuck you.
Man, that movie's good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this
We're a
film.
national agency. That's my John Hamm.
John Hamm is so unexpectedly good.
Sorry, I won't do it no more.
What were we talking about? Nike? Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see like I remember when all that was happening when I was a kid. I was like not super into it, but you couldn't be a kid and miss what was going on because that was like a phenomenon thing. I don't think it was the first Jordans that caught on as much as like I think the second Jordans that came out the year after. That's when it like blew the fuck up. Like it was everywhere at that point.
Yeah. Well,
like
the first Jordans were banned. The first
Were they?
Jordans were banned. Yeah. That's the documentary I watched. Unbanned Air Jordan. Because the colorway that he had, there was like black and they couldn't have black or they weren't approved by the NBA. So they were banned.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking forward to this even further. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Unbanned. If you guys want to check out a cool documentary about some Air Jordans, Unbanned. I think it's streaming somewhere. I think it's streaming on Showtime or Paramount Plus or one of those. But yeah, cool stuff. I'm excited too. And it looks like they're going for it, with the acting. They got their wigs and
dude, they're full on Jason Bateman. Like it looks legit good.
Man, every time I see Jason Bateman on the screen, I'm happy.
You know what I think they're going to do with this film is it's supposed to go straight to Amazon, but I think it's so good that they're going to put it in theaters for a couple months and then delay it by like a few months on Amazon. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, make some money. I'd watch it in the big screen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. But all right, what's next and what's
Next.
last?
All right. Next, we got Fast X.
Yeah.
Broom, broom. Are you ready for some cars?
No, I'm good.
No. Did you watch it?
I watched the trailer. Yeah, of course I had to watch the trailer just so I could watch the trailer enough to be like, yeah, I'm still good.
Man, bro. Man, me too, man. I'm like, no, thanks. Hey, good job. Bye. No, I don't know,
They
man.
peaked at 5. They should have just stopped it at 5, and they would have went out like champs. Instead, that movie, I think, made the most amount. Actually, the one with Paul Walker passing away made the most amount, which is like, oh, sad, so sad.
Yeah,
but dude, it's
Jason Momoa, bro. God, man, this guy wants to be in everything.
He didn't strike me like this. He's like the villain, and like he didn't strike me as like, oh, I'm the main villain. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't. It feels so shoehorned in there and forced, and it just feels like
especially with all those fake ass flashbacks to the 5. You know, like that they show in the trailer. God. Like they're horrible.
It did not look like a good. It's crazy. Like apparently they spent like an insane amount of money on this film, like $300 million. It does not look like they spent that much money. Like it does not look good. Like some of the shit, it's just like stupid. It's like a cartoon. I don't know. It's not done yet. I get that, but I mean at the same time, like, and like there was a couple shots of like people's faces that were like being replaced or changed up, and I'm like, it was like, ugh.
John Cena. Dude, I think it was a John Cena shot. I was like, what the hell was that? What's wrong with John Cena's face?
It just feels weird. And it's like, hey, the worst part is apparently it's a 2-parter. Like, dude, they have like no story to tell to begin with. And I swear this is the 2-part. Like, do you need like 5 hours to tell no story? Like, oh my God, it's going to be like a good luck, people. I don't know. Good luck to you sitting out there with no story, but vroom, vroom. I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know either. I haven't been able to do it since like number 7, or is that the one where Paul Walker passed away? Number 7?
I think so.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I lost track. But yeah, it's I just can't do it, man. Like they just can't stop. And it's not like Vin Diesel makes anything else. He has nothing else to do. So, and this is the movie where the director quit because he just couldn't handle Vin Diesel anymore. He's like, I'm done with this guy. And they had another director step in, and it's gonna be a freaking mess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
did you know that apparently I read that John Cena and Vin Diesel are brothers in the movie?
I think I saw something a long time ago describing the story, but he was like a villain. Like they did that in how many of the fucking movies where like someone is a villain and then like the next show they bring them back and they're like, oh, never mind, I'm a good guy now. Like haven't they done like 3 times by now? Like for this fucking series? Like it gets old. Like anyways, whatever. If you dig it, cool. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it either. No thanks. It's gonna be a fast pass for me, man, on this Fast X. No thanks.
Here's how much money it makes. But whatever.
We'll see, huh?
I'm good.
Moving on to the next thing. New to the list.
Just
all right.
This one.
I know we only got one thing on here. It's from Netflix and it's a documentary on Bill Russell, the legend. I don't know if you're too familiar with him, but he was a basketball player from the 50s and 60s. And I think he's won the most rings out of all NBA players, as he won like 11 rings, I think, in his career.
Jeez.
He's considered one of the best players of all time. And and then like during the time that he played, he broke down a lot of barriers for other basketball players, black players to play in the NBA. And he played for the Boston Celtics. So that was like, even more, So there's really curious to see what they put in there. I'm sure they're going to put a lot of basketball stuff, but just to go through that time period, and I'm sure he had it rough, back then, dealing with racism and how everything was, kind of jacked up back then. I mean, it's still jacked up.
It was crazy too. Like the financials, like this dude got 11 rings.
Yeah.
He probably made like 100 times less than an average player now that has like no rings.
Yeah.
which is like wild. The financials
Oh,
are
yeah.
so different, which is like,
I think the league minimum is like $4 million, bro. So like the guy that is on the bench and doesn't play like 80 games gets $4 million. You know what I'm saying?
Coach, put me on the bench. Don't put me in. Put me on the bench.
I mean, it's also like one of the smallest leagues too, because there's only 12 people per team on the roster completely, you know? So that's why they get bigger contracts, because the amount of money gets divided between less people. So that's another reason, you know?
Okay. But yeah, there you go. Bill Russell on Netflix.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, man.
Yeah,
Moving on. Double feature.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
All right. What do we got today, my lovely?
All right. It's Valentine's Day week, you know, so we're going to do a rom-com romance, you know, whatever gets saucy for you for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only picked one because I know you didn't pick this one.
I don't know. I'm like, this guy's going to pick something with some violence in it, or I don't know. I'm like, should I go full romance? I was debating, because believe it or not, I've watched romantic movies, you know, sad tearjerker movies.
Let me ask you a question. I was almost thinking about one. I'm like, this movie's kind of romantic.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll ask you afterwards, because your dumbass might have picked it. So I don't want to steal your thunder.
Well, here's the thing is, like, I thought about my favorite movie of all time too, because I mean, it's technically romantic, you know, but at the same time, that's not the spirit of Valentine's Day. So I think that's why I decided to not go with it.
When the main character gets like destroyed in a hotel room for like 10 minutes straight, it ends in a murder.
Yeah.
But baby, I love you.
Yeah. You're so cool. And there's this crazy shootout at the end. Anyways, I digress. So yeah, we're gonna go with rom-coms. You got yours or what?
I got mine. I wouldn't really call it a rom-com, but I think it's up there with like a relationshipy, feel good, complicated. We like this film quite a bit. But do you want me to go or do you want to go?
I went with feel good too, kind of light. I kept it light. It's in the PG-13 realm, so
mine
didn't
too.
go heavy.
No body count. So you go first. Go ahead.
All right. Mine is The Proposal, starring Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds.
It's a good one. Betty White, scene stealer.
Yeah, Betty White, scene stealing. The guy from
Craig
The
T.
Office.
Nelson.
He steals a couple
Oscar
scenes.
Nunez.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I like it's funny and they're nice to look at. Those two people are nice to look at. They're attractive people. And
that scene where they're naked running into each other on accident.
Yeah,
it's like,
Why are you so wet? Why are you so naked? I'm like, come on. Sandra Bullock, man. At that age, even now, man, she's 50 something, right?
No comment.
Yeah, welcome to Put on the List problematic episode
44.
Yeah, man. So if you guys wanted something romantic, funny, here you go. The Proposal.
Yeah,
one of my favorite rom-coms.
Proposal's good. And in a totally different vein, this is an Irish film. And I think we've seen this film at least 4 or 5 times. Like it's like shockingly like, what? It's a film. It's on Tubi right now. We had to actually look that up. And it's free, I think, if you have like the whole Tubi thing. I'm not sure how it works with everybody. But Sing Street. It's on it's like 7, 8 years old.
I remember that movie.
Man, that movie gets me every time. Like it's about a high school kid who kind of like has like a crush on this girl. And in order to try to like talk to her more, he's like, we need to start a band, and doesn't know shit about like music and stuff. And it just kind of like makes it happen. And they just start kind of growing from there. And the relationship with him and the girl start kind of growing. And it's really complicated. It's not like a traditional datey, whatever. It's like, and it's like in the 80s in Ireland. And it's just these kids like just trying to get along and survive in that world, and they all go to like a private Catholic school, which is problematic too, and they just kind of build past that and just play music and kind of do their own thing, and it's a little awkward for most people, especially in high school, but it's a film just full of heart, just so much heart and like soul, and it's like the movie just makes you feel good for the most part. It's not always like happy, but there's like so many just great little parts in that film. You're like, damn, this movie's good. It makes you feel good. So it's Sing Street. It comes and goes on Netflix pretty often, but if you get a chance to check it out, check it out. It'll make you feel like, all right. And I think, like I said, I think it's free right now on Tubi. However the hell that thing works, I don't know.
I enjoyed that movie. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
I think we'll probably watch that first, I think, and then we'll end with a proposal.
Yeah.
They're little higher note.
They're extremely different films. Like there's like some melancholiness to Sing Street. It's a very grounded film. Proposal's very like stylized. There's some cartoony stuff, but it's like totally enjoyable. Like it's like there's some cheesy stuff, I guess you can call it. Like, but it totally works. That's what the film is. That's the tone. It's fun.
Yeah. All right, man. We did it. We finished another episode.
And this one's now like fucking 2 hours. So we did good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. Leave comments or recommendations. Tell us how bad Andres' takes are, because it sucks. Or be nice to him.
I don't think I had anything worth being shit on this week. I think everything's pretty, but I think we agreed on everything.
Did we? Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
It must be the love in the air. The love in the air. Ooh la la.
Rubbing our beards around each other. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Something's happening.
It's a lot of chest hair intermingling.
Oh man, and tomorrow, I think we're in good moods because the Super Bowl is tomorrow. Super excited.
I know. Who do you got?
I just want
before we go.
Oh yeah, I forgot to point out you had your Super Bowl picks a couple weeks ago on the show.
Yeah,
fucking dead wrong. I told you neither of those teams was gonna go.
Yeah,
you ate shit. I just wanted to like make sure and now we're putting this at the back of the episode, which no one's probably listening to. But yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm glad you forgot to bring it up because I was like, ooh, yeah, Cincinnati didn't make it that far. Thanks, Bengals. Anyways, that's our show, guys. I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres.
Have a great week. Go Eagles. Put it on the list. 2 nerds. 1 pod. Let's go. Vámonos.